Mark Zuckerberg has been called a major hypocrite because while his company sells user data, he's really intense about his own privacy. When he bought his home, Mark also bought the 4 surrounding properties so that instead of neighbors, his family could have total privacy. The Facebook CEO's personal security team also costs several $1 million every year, making many people wonder what he's afraid of. Zuckerberg is seen as a 21st century villain, despite trying to be a hero. Ever since he started Facebook, the CEO has been under fire at home and at work. By 2018, he even had to defend his creation in court. Just before Mark was summoned to Congress, someone inside Facebook made some very scary accusations. They blamed Zuckerberg's site for ignoring hate speech and spreading false news. This contributed to political violence in several countries and ruined many lives. The former employee also shared that Zuckerberg was collecting and selling our personal data to advertisers in a massive breach of user privacy. It wasn't the first time that Facebook had come under fire. The site has dodgy beginnings too. It was created using code Mark wrote for another site in the early 2000s called FaceMash. Basically, this was a way for Harvard students to rate each other's attractiveness. FaceMash was quickly taken down, but not before being heavily criticized. It was branded chauvinistic, cringy, and an invasion to privacy. The fallout was so bad that Mark thought he'd be expelled from his university. Then, when Facebook finally became public in 2012, Zuckerberg was accused of stealing the idea from other Harvard students. The company had its first major privacy issue just 2 years later because the site experimented on people without telling them. Several thousand Facebook users' timelines were censored to monitor how people reacted to edited news. Despite apologizing, Facebook was fined another $5 billion for more privacy violations in 2019. In a letter addressing the scandals, the CEO explained, "It's difficult to see coverage that misrepresents our work and our motives. And at the heart of these accusations is this idea that we prioritize profit over safety and well-being. That's just not true." But it's not just Zuckerberg's creation that people have problems with. As the face behind Facebook, Mark has been called a lot of things, including arrogant. When he started Facebook, Zuckerberg was a teenager. He didn't make the most professional business choices. That included wearing pajamas to meetings and having a business card that read, "I'm CEO, bitch." Some of this weird behavior was documented in the 2010 movie The Social Network. But even though the film did really well on the awards circuit, Mark didn't like it or how he was portrayed. Zuckerberg accused the writers of making up hurtful scenarios. Mark is adamant that Facebook is a pioneer of online safety with the help of cutting-edge artificial intelligence.
There are about 20 different kinds of harm that we track and try to fight actively. And we've built these systems that I think are clearly leading at this point that not only identify that, but then connect with local first responders.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't affected by the privacy scandals. He used it to set himself a long-term goal in 2020 and prevent further personal drama. "My goal for the next decade isn't to be liked, but to be understood." He's working very hard to reach that goal. And he's not alone. The day after Zuckerberg went public with Facebook, he married his longtime girlfriend Priscilla Chan. It was a low-key ceremony that was a surprise for the guests, who thought they were attending Chan's graduation party. On their honeymoon, the couple ate at McDonald's rather than fancy restaurants. Throughout their romance, Priscilla has been called her husband's moral compass, although she's also been trolled online, with haters saying she's not pretty enough for Mark. The Facebook CEO met his future wife at a frat party, and despite internet trolls, he's never looked back.
He just believes in me so much, even when I don't believe in myself.
And now that Priscilla is a pediatrician and teacher, she's running the couple's many philanthropic projects. In 2015, the couple started a charity to celebrate the birth of their daughter, Max. It's called the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, and Mark and his wife donated $45 billion to get it started. It has ambitious goals, like ending all diseases, but that hasn't helped it escape scrutiny. Haters have said that CZI is nothing more than a clever way to distract the public from the damage Facebook has done. Priscilla strongly disagrees.
Frankly, there are a lot easier ways. We have always known that we were going to give back, and we launched formally the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative in 2015. This is not a 2018 project.
The CZI isn't the only thing this couple is defending. Away from the spotlight, their lives are surprisingly normal and frugal, even though they're billionaires. Mark drives a Volkswagen GTI, only ever wears t-shirts and jeans, and takes home $1 as his salary. That way, the CEO earns a performance-based salary, rather than just getting a set amount of cash each month. Mark and Priscilla are also ensuring that their 2 daughters understand their values. The girls don't get anything handed to them.
Well, I think first of all, we don't give them everything, so I think that's an important piece, but they also just have responsibilities.
They have chores, they have responsibilities. Yeah. We also take them to work. Mark and I take both of them to work, to the office, to see sort of like what we do, how we contribute.
But the internet still loves to pick on Mark Zuckerberg. He's routinely the subject of memes. The images suggest that the Facebook CEO doesn't eat like a human and acts like an alien. Some of those memes come directly from the subject because Mark Zuckerberg has no problem laughing at himself. Like that time he wore too much sunscreen to try to disguise himself from paparazzi. Zuckerberg's willingness to use technology to make people's lives better, his philanthropy, and his ability to laugh at himself make him more than just a billionaire CEO. They make him a human being, capable of amazing things, if we'll only let him. If Zuckerberg has taught us anything, it's that you should never give up on your dreams, because they might have the power to change the world.